I think it affects people massively, physically, mentally, socially, um, and be totally destructive. Um, I think people focus very much on the physical side of things, and people, all assume it's just the liver, it's the liver. And actually, your liver's a pretty resilient organ, and will do its job and will fight the fight for as long as it can. But actually, alcohol affects many more systems of the body than you realise. It increases your risk of certain cancers, certainly things like mouth, tongue, throat, esophageal cancer, stomach cancer, bowel cancer. It destroys people's lives socially, it destroys families, it separates people from their children, from their loved ones, from relatives, from friends. It causes people to lose their jobs. It has a massive impact on the social security system, on the benefit system. It's huge. I think it infiltrates every system of the body, it infiltrates every part of society.
Well, alcohol impacted my life quite a lot when I was a child. It stole me of it, uh, basically because my mum turned into an alcoholic when I was a very young child, and it drove a stepdad away. It drove me to take drugs, and it turned my mum into a very different person. She was very distracted when she was drunk. She didn't have any time for me. It was as though I wasn't there. I didn't exist. And that was only when she was drunk. When she was sober, she was a completely different person. But as time went on, she was drunk more and more and more. It was every day. So every day she was dismissive, distractive, didn't have time for me, didn't even know I existed. So that's how it affected me a lot. It was a lot for a child to deal with that.
I first started drinking alcoholically just after my dad died. I was really close to my dad. I used to see him every day, or talk. If I didn't see him, I'd chat to him because they lived close by. And at the same time, he was in the last week of his life. My marriage, which was abusive anyway, got worse, and I got really physically injured and tried to hide it from my dad because I didn't want him to die knowing that I was getting physically abused by my husband. And I found afterwards that the only way to numb the feelings from the abuse and the feelings of loss and grief was to drink. And I can't say when it went from a normal social drinker to an alcoholic drinker, it just creeps up on you.
So alcohol has changed my life. It's completely destroyed my life. I've lost a lot of confidence. I was very self-isolated. I became very depressed. My family became extremely worried about me.
Well, I'd definitely like to see the more health warnings on packages. Maybe the packaging to change. A bit like cigarettes, how they've done it with cigarettes, where they've really put it up behind the closet, so to speak, behind the cabinet so you can't see it. It's not advertised anymore. I'd definitely like to see that happen with alcohol. I think that would help the next generation not to be associated with alcohol so freely, like it's the norm.
I'd like also sporting events not to sponsor alcohol. Sport is something that you do to become healthy, and drink is not promoting a healthy lifestyle. It's equally as dangerous as any of the Class A drugs like heroin, and there would be an uproar if you saw heroin advertised on football teams' strip, or indeed on the advertisement boards around the stadiums and grounds.
At the moment, the age range is 18 years old. I think it should be changed to 21 at the very least. I think people that are 18 years old are still too young to use alcohol, and it can be very dangerous. So I think it should be changed to 21, and there should be more restrictions.
For 6 generations, the House of Taman has created an exceptionally smooth experience. It comes from carefully selected ingredients and the purest spring water. Taman, smoothness in a bottle. But there's more than smoothness. In Sweden, for example, 1 in 5 children suffer because their mum or dad drinks too much. 8 out of 10 acts of violence in public places are alcohol-related. And more than 320,000 Swedes are addicted to alcohol. Now, how smooth is that?
And this is a drug. This is, at the end of the day, alcohol is a drug. It's a legal drug. It's a socially acceptable drug. It's an available drug. It's affordable. You can go and buy it in most shops, in most supermarkets, places you wouldn't expect to buy it. I don't think we ever know the true nature of it. I don't think it's one of those drugs where people don't often think they have a problem. I'm okay. The safe unit amounts is 14 units a week. Above that, it would be seen as unsafe. And what we do know is that a lower rate alcohol, can be relatively okay. There are some very, very small health benefits to drinking at a lower level. Your stress levels may be reduced. Your risk of cardiovascular disease may be slightly reduced. However, that tipping point from kind of the safe level to the unsafe level to the harmful level, it doesn't take very much. I've seen people over the years in my career in all sorts of situations, and young people dying through alcohol. The youngest patient I ever had die of end-stage liver disease was 34. The youngest patient I ever sent for a liver transplant consideration was 26, and that was purely alcohol related.